Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
What's up, everybody?
We are back to talk one of our favorites. This is Married at First Sight. This is the Nashville season, so this is technically season 16, episode 5 of this season. This one it's all about the journey. So we are on the honeymoon. We are in Jamaica. We got our Hawaiian shirts. We're ready to go. I would say the couples are all thawing to each other, Brian. Warming up a little bit, thawing, but some of these relationships that are thawing out may be spoiled meat per se already, and some may have a shot. And I'm interested to see your takes on which ones are going in the positive trend, some in the negative trend. I'm going to start with the negative trend one, and then you can kind of kick us to one of the positive ones I know you kind of had on mine. But I want to talk about our boy Clint, the ginger, the unattractive ginger, and Gina, the never really in a relationship because she's got a business woman.
It's worrisome. It's very worrisome.
She's just like being very like, I guess the nice way to say it is honest with him. But like, what does she get by just being so brutal on him about his looks? Because from the looks of it, it's going to make him start to get defensive and then deflect something about her
Right.
next week. And
Right.
I'm not saying what he's going to say is right either, but like, I, I just don't know what do you think her vibe? What's the deal with her?
I don't know, man. I actually thought like they could work in the beginning because
Yeah.
like I feel like when you're both adventurous and you like to travel, I think that can keep a lot of people together.
Yeah.
Not if you're not like super attractive, like you have like you like to go on these trips, like you like to explore, like, and I thought that could be a thing that could work for them. But I guess like you always say, like, look, you can become physically attracted to somebody over time. I just think it jumping the gun a little bit
Mm-hmm.
on some of these. Like, yeah, do you want to hang out on a hairy chest all day? Probably not. But like maybe he'd shave his beard a little bit. Like you can work with. I just don't think it's ready to just throw it to the fire. Like, yeah, I don't like gingers. I just wouldn't have said it like that.
The one thing I will say for her, and it's probably got to be pretty frustrating because you're putting a lot of trust into these doctors and everything, is that choice to me seems deliberate. She said the only kind of
Mm,
guy I'm really not attracted to are like redheaded guys,
yeah.
and they went and picked a redheaded guy. And I think for them, that's more of like a TV thing and we're going to show how much smarter we are than you, that we can prove that like the inner beauty and all this is more and will over. I wouldn't try to make someone have to overcome a physical attraction, right? Like they didn't do that to a lot of the other couples. They're all physically attracted. They might be shy, some of them, and get them, but none of them like think anyone's ugly. Like we're gonna talk about Shaq next, right? Like that
Yeah.
feedback was like more funny. She's like, I didn't really dig your bald head,
Yeah, I
but
think
it
yeah,
was a
like rubbing
joke
it.
though.
Yeah, I
Like
know.
it wasn't like you were the ugliest person I've ever
Right.
seen.
Yeah, I know
So
you. That's a really good point, Bill. Like they why would they that seems almost spiteful that they would do something like that. Like, I don't know. I just if not that you want to put on your application like I don't like redheads, but like if somebody puts on an application, I like this, wouldn't you try to find something that's closest to this?
I
And like
agree.
I just like I not that there's anything wrong with people who have red hair or like an orange hair, but like I don't know, like maybe like they need to be more descriptive on their like would you have a problem with this? Like not even
Yeah.
just section, this is what I like. These are things I could have potentially have a problem with. Like I don't know, just something that maybe they should do because could they get past it? Maybe, but I just think
I
it's
don't think
just
you should make someone have to do that, but you're
yeah,
already overcoming meeting a stranger, so might
and
as
you're
well get someone
married.
who's your type
Right.
physically. I don't
Yeah.
want to hear the crap that the physical stuff doesn't matter to people now. I'm sorry. It's always mattered and it always will matter. It's
Yeah.
not doesn't be the driving force. They're letting you pick someone for them. So like it'd be like if you and I were single, like and I had a type or you had a type, and I was gonna fix you up with someone. Why would I fix you up with someone that like I know you're not gonna be physically
Exactly,
attracted to?
man. It's yeah, like oh, you have one general interest. It's like okay, but like, do you want to have sex with somebody you don't think is attractive? Like,
No, it's
no.
not gonna happen. And it's important. Like I mean, okay, so let's talk about Shaq.
Stock
Um,
up.
love Shaq.
I said in the first episode I thought they could do it, and I think like they early it's just it's kind of the reverse of Gina like and Clint like oh we really thought like it could work, and we were really down on Shaq, and I just think that maybe it's the stock was just down a little bit now it's tricking up.
Yeah, like she and then her honesty, she's warming up. There's no pressure really going on in the relationship, which I think is really nice. And again,
Mhm.
they seem like they're dating, right?
Yeah.
Like that, they seem like they're dating. That to me is like a fun one to watch. And yeah, like kudos to you. You were definitely like more positive on them than I was on that. I didn't think they were DED dead, but I just thought the
Yeah,
initial
they were in the
reaction,
danger zone. They were in the danger zone for sure.
the initial reactions,
Yeah.
Chad, were brutal. But
Yeah.
again, I'd rather to be the initial reaction than like 3, 4, 5 days in now, like Gina's doing with Clint. You know what I mean? Being like,
Mhm.
oh, and like telling, oh God, not a huge fan of that. All right, McKinley.
Guy likes boobs, man.
He said the word boobs. Like I wrote that down here. It's like really, really loves boobs. Keeps talking it up. I think she's undecided on him.
Me too.
The look she makes, like when they're like in the pool a lot of times and hugging and being physical, she's kind of like,
Right, like he's almost like totally like out that he doesn't like to fish.
checked
Like
out.
very hung up on fishing.
He's very particular, and like I think she just knows that, like, okay, like if this is the best that it's gonna be, because when we're back home, we're dealing with the mother again, right? And it's like, sorry, like that's what I would be thinking
Mhm.
about. And like next week, like you said, when we'll get to them when they all mix though too.
That's what yeah. I
My
was hoping a
favorite
little bit of that
episodes.
this time, but like that's gonna be really good because then they can bounce ideas. It's the same thing that happens in Love is Blind. Like things are great until they meet together and they're like, well, this has happened to me. They're like, whoa, 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 that's weird. So that's
I
when we're
agree.
gonna get unearth some fun stuff.
Uh, Chris and Nicole had the rum date.
I thought that was a cool date.
I thought it was a cool date too. It was funny that they were forcing him to take shots. I do think that like they could be fine, but I do think that there's conflict coming because it seems like he doesn't want to deal with any kind of like anger, fighting. Seems pretty sensitive. So like I'm worried that like eventually, and she's just kind of like worried about it too. You can tell she's like, well, it's gonna happen like at some point. And like, is it gonna be
Mhm.
like I have no leash at all, like with being a normal person, maybe and getting angry. And so I'm very curious to see like how long it takes for there to be conflict. Also, no one's been intimate yet either. And so
Right.
usually maybe someone will be by the time they all meet up next episode, but that's usually like one of the things that's like the topic of conversation, right? And I don't know if they've ever gotten to one where like no one's been intimate by this time. You know, people in the comments can let us know, but I haven't seen that, at least from the few seasons I've seen.
You know who's dying to be intimate? This Eris.
Eris,
He he wants to have some doggy style sex very badly.
downward facing dog. He's so funny though.
Yeah.
He is funny, but like also, man, he made the cliffhanger statement of the episode saying like he's not in love, which is fine right now, but he's like, I'm not sure if I will fall in
Yeah.
love.
I know, man. Wow.
Oh no, bud. Like
Right.
that's not a good statement.
You got to think about when you before you speak, especially early, because anybody can hang on a statement you say, and it's gonna be tough to overcome that. Like just like Clint and Gina, and then just like what's Jasmine gonna think now of Eris saying that? Like, oh, is he ever gonna actually love me if he's never loved anybody else in his life?
Yeah, and the
Keep it to
stuff.
yourself.
Yeah, and it's like the lifestyle stuff we already know about with like the dogs and like little
Yeah.
things though that
Hmm.
like are already going to be sources, and her big family, and he's an only
Hmm.
child, and like
Right.
all this stuff is like don't add to it, is my
Yeah.
opinion, unnecessarily. But this is the primer episode. Next week is like the social interaction. The
Yes.
couples interact. We're gonna get the Clint and Gina fight and like the stand. Like we're gonna get something now. Probably gonna get Jersey Shore edited a little bit for that, but you never know. We'll see.
Hmm. Hmm. I'm
Um,
excited though, man. I think the show is really starting to come on. Like
me too.
I just enjoyed. There's some other stuff that like even like just the episode, like it was just cool to see them interact with each other. Like I just want to bring up this because I
Yeah.
thought this was because I actually kind of experienced this once. Like not that I've been in a car accident, but like Shaq being hesitant on the ATVs. Like like she was like, oh, I'm worried about him being like adventurous. I was like, the guy almost died and he has a reason to be hesitant. And like I remember once I went snowmobiling with Presley, and I was like Shaq, like I was worried because like I don't want to get like I'm like near a cliff and I'm not going 80 miles an hour. Like sorry, like I'm just cautious. I don't want to
I
die.
I had a quad forever. I got in an accident once where I like went over the handlebars and hit my head on the tree, but I had the helmet on, so it was fine. But like, you know what I mean? Like I've been there. Listen, Cardinal rule of the Bachelor: no
Yeah, no
motorized
motorsport.
sports or motorized vehicles. So you know we can apply that to Married at First
Mhm.
Sight if we want to a little bit too.
All right.
Yeah. So I think overall good episode, Bry. Make sure you're checking out our videos, everything we're reviewing, anything from Bachelor to uh Are You the One to Jersey Shore to hell else are we reviewing?
So much, man. I like every time I did
Below
this on the last
Deck,
episode,
bunch of
and I
stuff.
just forget.
Also, check out our shorts. I'm doing a lot of shorts and 60-second reviews of things like Love Island US. We're also starting to do things like reality TV news. I've been doing some posts about that. We'll also do 60-second reviews and just opinions about different moments in different episodes, just to kind of connect to a different audience as well. So make sure you're looking out for us there. Also on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. That's basically it. And your hearts and your prayers. For myself and Brian, thank you. Peace.